Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel for another episode of Wicked Wednesday, but I think you guys are getting this video on Thursday because it's a little too late to be posting it. I am staying up late so I can get you guys some content filmed. I always tell you guys this stuff is a lot harder to film than my other videos because I want to give you guys so much information, especially about cryptids and urban legends. But today, while I'm gathering all of that other information up, today I'm actually going to be going over a story with you guys that I found on Reddit, No Sleep. This is actually just a part 1 to the story. I am so excited for when they post the second part. I've skimmed through it really quickly just to make sure that it's something that I want to put on my channel, and it looks pretty interesting. The writing seems very smooth, so I'm pretty excited about it. I haven't actually fully read it all the way through yet, so please bear with me as we go along, and subscribe so you can stay up to date for part 2. Now keep in mind, with all of these like Halloween videos that I'm putting out, I have a list of content. Now part 1 and part 2 do not count as like 2 separate videos in my book. That counts as one type of video, even though it's coming out on separate days, if that makes sense to you guys. So you're not gonna have to wait till next Wednesday to get another video. And I just got scared to death because my cat just like came running into this room. I'm home alone, guys. I'm a little freaked out. But there's a list of content I want to put out. I'm not gonna like fluff it up just so I can have a video out every single day. I'm going to have a video every possible day that I can, but I'm going to do everything in my power to get every video that I planned out for you guys. And I am so excited because as the month goes on, stuff is just going to keep getting better and better. So go ahead and subscribe. I put out all different types of content, so just stay tuned, and I'm going to go ahead and get into the story before I lose you guys. So this story is called I'm a Hurricane Michael First Responder in Between Shifts, and it is by Hurricane Michael First. And this is, I don't know if I've already mentioned this, off of Reddit No Sleep, which I have fallen down a rabbit hole on. So I of course will always leave a link down below to the author's channel. Of course, I did not write this. Go give them credit. I am simply reading it to you guys because I thought it was cool. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I'm not sure how to start here. I guess most people begin with their names, so I will too. A name, I think, is the oddest place to begin. I mean, how are you supposed to glean anything from a name about whether you should even waste your time anyways? Anyway, it's Harry, and I'm a first responder for Hurricane Michael, which is closer to the reason I'm here. I've seen something today, and I believe I may never sleep again. I'm too petrified to shut my eyes. That is what you do here, right? Unburden and stay awake? I want to stay awake. I must stay awake. My town was hit hard. I don't want to specify exactly where for reasons that will become obvious as I continue, and I'll redact some names for the same reason. Everything else I'm about to tell you is completely true. It was already a bad day, maybe the worst. I've lived here all my life, and we've never seen anything like Michael. We make an unspoken deal with Mother Nature, and specifically, the water. Man stays on his side of the beach, and we build our lives. We leave the water alone. Sure, the boatmen say their prayers and beg for good weather so they can sail along the surface for pleasure or for food. But we really do let the water be. Truth be known, Mother Nature holds all the cards, and she always has. She's a strong mother. When the water forces its way in, it's a curious rage. Nothing can ever be the same after that. There's nothing anybody can do about that. Rick Scott has come on TV and give us all hope. We'll rebuild, he says, but his gray eyes are weary. Those of us who really see it, I mean really face it, know there's no going back. Maybe we will, some parts. Someone can swoop in with huge resources and effort, but you can't put the pieces back together the way it was. Survivors will leave, cash their insurance checks if they can, and abandon the mess to rot. And for a lot of folk, it just hurts too much to look back. Mother Nature broke this deal, but we pay the price. There's nothing anybody can do about that. But I'm in the business of saving lives today and tomorrow, and for however long this takes, waiting and pulling and digging as fast as we can. Today, I was dispatched with a friend and 2 others I hadn't met before on a boat. I'll call my friend Vince, not his real name. Vince is a vet and twice my age. He has big teeth and a stutter since he came back from the war. I saw a note in the water that looked wrong. It didn't match the other debris chaotically strewn about. Something intentional about it. I wish I'd have ignored it and let it float by. Maybe it was for me in some way. I'm not too sure of much anymore. Who knows a man's destiny? We were passing a corner store I knew well, but it's unrecognizable now. As a kid, I used to bike there with money I'd earned from helping my dad at his shop. I was always too impatient and downed the entire Nestle bar before I walked back in the door, which was well and good because I couldn't get in trouble for spoiling my dinner if the evidence had gone away. As a young adult, I bought my first .40, a Miller Lite. My eyes stung looking at it today. The roof lay in shambles, ripped and tugged like a blouse, and then left sagging there off the shoulder shamefully. It's when I lowered my gaze that I saw the grocery bag drifting by. It was tied off desperately and ballooned up as a makeshift airtight bag, with loose and numbered papers inside. It held up well, and we didn't have to slow down or change our route to pick it up. I lifted it into the boat and tore it open. It started. My name is redacted. I live at redacted. I'm trapped, and if no one finds me, I'll drown. No police. If I'm dead when you find me, burn this note, if you can. What's that? Vince asked, wiping the sweat away from his forehead with a pulled rag from his back blue jean pocket. He leaned over my shoulder and seemed to read the first page. Looter, you think? It happens, unfortunately. Looters get stuck and then are too scared to call for help. I snatched the papers to my chest away from his view. Seems unlikely. There hasn't been enough time yet with this one. Can't be sure if folks left their homes empty. He shrugged. Yeah, maybe just a gag. We better report it just in case. He reached for the radio, but I waved him back. She says no police. Maybe there's a reason. Vince's face pulled in as if sucking on a button. Well, what exactly do you propose we do then? Well, maybe just... No. When he stood, he loomed over me, with broad shoulders and authority few get away with in front of me. I'm not small, but Vince had a way of putting a man in his place. We ain't going on a wild goose chase for some note you lifted in all this. You don't even know where it came from or when. There's a protocol. We all have assigned areas, and people we know need our help. What's going on back there? An organizer asked from the front of the boat. I'll call him Reggie. Not his real name, of course. Nothing, I said, and put the note in my pocket. Reggie didn't seem convinced, but carried on. Vince sat down and lowered his voice, glaring spears through my eye sockets and into my skull. Listen, if you're concerned, then call it in. Otherwise, we got real work to do. And that was that. He jumped out of the boat and asked rhetorically over his shoulder, how do you even know it was a girl anyhow? The cursive had reminded me of my wife's, but I didn't tell him that. Every muscle burned at the end of my shift, but I did go to the address before heading home. That note called me. I couldn't get it out of my head. What I saw there, I don't think I have the energy or sanity to explain tonight. I'll stop here for now. If I make it back alive at the end of my shift tomorrow, I'll update more. I'm so terrified to sleep. I'm terrified to go back into the rubble and water. I know what's waiting for me. Any first responders out there that see this thread, do not respond to notes you find in this storm. There's something unnatural about Michael. Heed my words. For my part, I'm going to burn this note now, like she asked me to. God bless. Stay safe. I have serious goosebumps. So I'm going to back up a little bit and make sure I read this correct. So he said he burned... Ooh, I don't like that. Like, the room just started shaking because there's a plane going over it, as you can hear. He said he burned the note, but let me go back to the note because if I'm dead when you find me, burn this note. So she was dead when he showed up. So she or he. I'm going to assume it's a girl. My cats are going insane right now, and it's giving me the heebie-jeebies, and I have goosebumps because this, like, for some reason, of all of the stories that I have read, this is like the least on paper terrifying, but I think just the way the author wrote it has me like screwed up in the head right now. And like I'm so scared because I'm home alone. And let's be real, like I'm assuming that this is in Florida because that's where Michael is hitting, right? Am I wrong? Am I thinking of a different hurricane? I think Michael's hitting like the panhandle of Florida right now, or it hit it yesterday or early this morning. And there's a lot of like unincorporated areas out there. So I'm wondering if this is paranormal or if this is like some sort of weird human thing that's happening, or like what it is. And like if it's humans, that's even more terrifying. But like it is not uncommon for you to hear about paranormal things to come out of hurricanes. There's something to do with like spirits and water and the disruption and like of big natural disasters that like change up the energy in certain areas. But you hear about it mostly in hurricanes. I think it's because of all the water. But I could be wrong. I'm going to leave this here because this video is getting way too long. I am so excited. I swear the second I see like the next section come out, I will film a video. I will sit down, even if I look like a potato, and I will get this up for you guys because I'm so freaking excited about this. I have more coming out. There's stuff coming out next week as well. Some are going to be stories. I actually have quite a few stories I'm going to be reading to you guys this month. But like I said, I do also have a lot of like urban legends and cryptids and like more detail-oriented stuff, but I love stories too. I try and make my content stuff that I like to watch, which I watch so much different stuff. So I'm done babbling. I'm just gonna sit here and be terrified and hope that my cats don't come charging into the room again, because as he runs up the stairs. Okay, I'm gonna go turn on all the lights, and yeah, stay safe you guys, stay spooky, leave comments down below, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and please, please, please be safe this spooky season. Okay, bye.